Welcome to another episode here on your Digital Makeover. My name is Jerry Colbert, and in today's episode, we're going to go over how to create a habit inside of TickTick. So as you see here, I have opened up TickTick on the desktop, and I am using a Mac. And in today's episode, I want to kind of go over how you can create habits inside of TickTick. So as you see right here, I have my habits section opened up. And if you aren't familiar with how to gain access to habits, and let's say, for instance, you are on the task view or the calendar view, it's just right down here, and it's called Habit Tracker. So if you just go down these icons and hover over it, click on it, and there it is. If you don't have this on the side of your taskbar here, then what you can do is click on Settings. You can go over here to Features and click on Habit Tracker. Okay. Now, once you are inside of your habit tracker, it will most likely be blank. I don't think, of course I could be wrong, but maybe when you first get TickTick, there might be one or two generic habits in there. But anyways, so mine though already has some habits in here. And if you look up here at the top, you have habit for active and archived. So I usually have it on the active. And over here, you have where you can have it organized as a list or as a gallery view. Okay. And when I separate it like this, I like it because it has a mornings, afternoons, nights, and others, right? And it keeps it in a nice little concise little gallery view. Here is where you can add your habit or create a habit. And then over here, the three dots is where you can have settings for whether or not you want to show it on your today or your next 7-day view. But to create a habit is pretty simple. All you do is click on the plus, type in what the habit is. Let's say you want to drink 1 cup of coffee. And you want to just do it every day, achieve it all, yes, or you can have it reached by a certain count. Down here, you can put your start date, goal, whether or not it's forever or if it's for a certain time period. Then, of course, you have a section whether or not you want to include it in a morning, afternoon, night, or other routine or habit routine, okay? Also, by the way, you can also add a section if you want. Then you can also add a reminder to remind you at 9 o'clock to do it or 10 o'clock or whatever time you want to do it. And then auto pop-up of habit log. I don't typically use that. I usually leave that off. So once you do that and you click OK, then it goes into the section that you wanted it for. But if you want to change it, all you do is right-click on it and hit Edit. And then you can change it to whatever section you want it at. By the way, when you select morning, it usually puts in a default time as 9 a.m. You can change that if you want by clicking on it and then selecting whatever you want. Now, of course, you can actually use start focus if you want. If you want to start a POMO or a stopwatch. You can also archive your habits if you don't want to do them anymore or delete them just by right-clicking on them, okay? Now, if you see here, it has over here to the right on each one of these how I have checked some of these off, right, on those days. So it kind of keeps track of your habits so you can get a kind of a cool little picture of which habits you have been doing properly and which ones you haven't. Now, like for instance, here on drink water, I haven't really done very well on it, have I? I've only done maybe a third of it because I'm doing 3 bottles a day and I've only done maybe a third of it or maybe even 2/3 of it as you see here, right? So these are some of the things you can do. Now, how do you mark these off though, you might say? Well, if you go over here to your today view, it is going to be right here in your today view, okay? Now, you can, if you're watching my other videos, also have it included in your calendar view. All right. And I typically do not do that because it winds up all over the place like this. And I just typically don't do that. If it's a habit that I want to have scheduled at a certain time, I just mark it as habit on the end of the actual thing. And that reminds me that I have a habit that I need to check off. And then I can just go over here to the today view and check it off that way, in which I've already done the leg exercises. So I can go ahead and mark that off. And I did this too. See, I do need to do the starting up my car. Just so y'all know, I broke my leg and I'm still dealing with that. So I can't really start my car. So I have my wife go out and start it every once in a while. So that is typically how I do that. I did that too. I need to weigh myself. I hadn't done that. And so if I hit this drink 1 cup of coffee, then that will wind up, if you look over here, as marked off for that day. And like I say, if I want to archive it, I can, or delete it. In this case, I'm going to delete it because I don't need that habit, because I don't drink coffee. I only drink water. Water is my thing. So that is typically how you can create habits and keep track of those, just so you can keep on track of your habits. You know, a lot of times we have habits that we want to do, but we have no way of tracking them. And this is a cool way you can do so inside of TickTick. So it's just that simple, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this episode. And if you did, don't forget to hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more of these videos in the near future, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. With that being said, I want to wish you all a wonderful week, and I'll catch you next episode. Take care.